Release the Kraken!
Greetings, fellow game designers. Ron here at Lame Duck Studios, and today we are going to be diving back into character design. Now, in the past, we've made a Mario, we've made a Luigi, we've made a Leon and Jill, we've even made an Elf Dude. This time around, I think we're going to create Elf Dude 2.0, or as I would like to call him, Link. Well, a Link-like character. We'll call him Slink, right, for copyright purposes. So let's go ahead and dive on in. First thing is we're going to name our project, because we should do that. So I'll do a file, save as. And I'm going to drop this into my classes folder. And we're going to go ahead and name this. If you're one of my students, it should be last name, whatever your last name is. And then the project, which is going to be Link, and then 01. Because we're going to save in iterations. If you are just a person viewing on YouTube somewhere, you can name it whatever you like, but a good naming convention is whatever this is going to be. So whatever your last name is and that. And then you can hit save as. Hooray! And that'll make it easier for quick saving as we go. We're going to go up to the poly modeling menu and go ahead and drop in a plane. It's going to go way down there, but don't worry, we're going to go and resize it. So head over to your channel box. You can get to that here with this little guy, or you can hit the channel box tab, which is right here. Okay. Open up the polyplane settings, and we need to adjust the size of this. So for subdivisions width and height, we're going to drop that down to 1. And then for the width and height, we're going to do this based off of how tall Link is. So according to Google, Link is somewhere between 3 feet 10 inches and 4 feet 6 inches. So I think we should just meet somewhere in the middle and do about 4 feet. But Maya is set up in centimeters. We could always change it to inches or to feet, but Unity and Unreal are also both set up in centimeters. So we should really keep our dimensions in centimeters. So we have to convert. Let me grab a calculator real quick. There we go. And so we have 4 feet. But we need to get 4 feet to centimeters. How many inches are there per foot? Well, we'll multiply by 12 because there are 12 inches per foot. Yay. So that gives us 48 inches. But then we have to convert this to centimeters. So 48, we're going to multiply by 2.54 because there are 2.54 centimeters per inch. So we'll do that. And we have a size of 121.92. And we will just round to 122. So for my height, we're going to do 122. You can see that right there. For the width, I'm just going to do 122 as well, just make it a square, and then we'll adjust it if we need to. So I'll grab that guy. Let's go up to rendering, and we will drop on a Lambert because it doesn't have any reflection. So I'll do that, and we'll change this Lambert's name. We'll call this link underscore ref underscore mat. That way we can find it if we need it. Let's go ahead and get our color. So hit the checker box there, go to file, and then the folder, and then navigate to wherever yours is stored. Alright, and we'll go ahead and add him on. And then press 6 to turn on the color. That looks pretty good. He is a little bit squished, but we will solve that in just a minute. So I'll go back to my channel box and grab my plane here. We want this to be rotated forward. So if you look at our compass down here, Z is our forward direction, which means that to get him to face forward, we actually have to rotate on the X. So I'm going to go to X rotation, and I'll do 90. There we go. Pretty good. And let's go to a front view. Go ahead and tap spacebar. And then hover over your front view, which is the bottom left one here. We're going to hit 6 to bring the color up. And I'll just zoom for that. And then tap spacebar again to go to your view. Alright, so now we have our elf dude, and you can see that he's a little bit squished. So I'm going to go over to my polyplane settings here. And instead of doing a width of 122, let's try a width of 140. And I'm not too terribly mad at that, but it looks a little bit stretched. So I'm going to go down to 135. I think Yeah, 135 looks pretty spot on. I like that. Alright, so we're good there. Let's do this. We need to move him so that his feet are on this red line. So I'm going to hit W, and I'm actually going to just move the pivot. So to move this pivot, right now it moves like this, but I want to move the pivot. So I'm going to hit the D key. That's going to unlock the pivot, and you can see now I can move the pivot freely. I'm going to move the pivot down to the bottom of Link's foot here. You can see that green line is right in line with the bottom of his foot. I'm going to let that go. And then I'll press D again to lock it. Now I can just pull this to my red line here. So I'm going to hold down the X key, grab this top arrow, and just pull. And you'll see it'll snap, and that's perfect. His feet are right in line with the ground. Nice. Now I want to center up Link. So I'm going to take this point here. I'm going to press the D key again. Now I can move this freely, and I want to snap this center on Link. So I'm going to hold down the X key, drag that center of Link, and then hit D again. That way that's good and center. And I'm going to hold X again, and then drag to the middle. There we go. And that looks like it's pretty perfect. It's right down the middle of Link. The reason we want this to be center is we're going to use a box modeling technique where we model half the character and then mirror the other side. So it's good to have that good and symmetrical. Okay, so now that we have this, we have to handle the side here, because this guy needs to be facing, toward the right of the screen. So what do? Well, we're going to cut it. Go up to poly modeling, come over to the multi-cut tool. Go ahead and grab that. I'm going to hover over our picture. This top edge is good. I'm going to hold down the control key. And I'm going to drop a cut in here. Now I don't want it to be on his hair, and I don't want it to be on his fingers. I want it to be somewhere in the middle. That looks pretty good. You can see my cursor. I'm at 70.53. That looks like a good spot to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my cut in there. Nice. Now you can see when I did that, it did distort the image. We're going to go ahead and fix that. So I'm going to hit Q, turn off my tool, and let's go into UVs here. So I'm going to go up to UV editor. If you don't see the UVs, make sure you're in modeling. So go up to UV, UV editor, and just maximize this. As you can see, this top line is halfway through Link's hair, which is what we're seeing on the picture here. This is our UV line. I'm going to go into edge mode, and I'm going to grab this edge and that edge. So hold down Shift, get this edge and that edge. Hit W to turn on the move tool, and then I'll hold down the X key so I can drag up and snap to the top here. And you can see as I do that here, that our picture gets corrected out here. Very good. I can go ahead and close that now. Hooray. So now I need to separate these two pictures. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to go into face selection, and I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to use the extract operation. So I'm going to go up to edit mesh, and then come down all the way near the bottom and hit extract. Awesome. We don't have to do anything here. We're just going to click off. And now, if I grab this, press F8 to go to object mode, we have an extracted image that I can do stuff with. Hooray. And this one should be all nice and by himself. Hooray. But you can see my widget has moved. So with my front picture, I'm going to move my widget again. So I'm going to hit D to unlock the widget. Hold down X, drag to the left. That way it snaps in the middle. I'll hold down X again, drag down, so it snaps to the ground. And then D to lock it. Alright, very good. I'm going to grab this picture. You can see that this one is not centered at all. And there isn't really a good spot to center. So I'm just going to go up to poly modeling, and I'm going to hit the center icon. And that's going to find the center for me. Pretty good. And I want to also lock this down at his feet. So I hit the D key to unlock it. Hold down X. Drag the top arrow down. And then D again to lock that. Very good. Let's go into our perspective view. Go ahead and tap spacebar and then tap again. And now I want to move these pictures so they are no longer on the middle of the grid. We need them to be kind of out of the way so they're not there when we're modeling. So I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to move him back some. And you can see up here I have my Y value has changed. So I'm going to go ahead and just change this to a minus 200. I think that's a good distance. I'm going to grab this one. I need to rotate him so he's facing this red arrow. So I'm going to bring up the rotation tool. So E for rotation, hold down the J key, and then drag the bottom rotation so that it rotates him 90 degrees toward the X value. And you can see that we actually have 90 on the Z. And I will just hit W to bring up the move tool. And now I can move him over here. So I just drag this arrow this way. And you can see the value that changed up top here. This is my X value. I'll do minus 200. Okay. Now, if it's confusing you about the numbers that are changing, just be aware that we have a local translation and a world translation. So right now we're moving our object using world, but the values that are changing are actually local. And you can see this, that we moved the Z value, but it was the Y value that changed. So if that confuses you, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to change your widget if you want to. Hold down the W key and then hold down left click. And you can see we're currently in world selection. If we change it to object selection, you'll see that the widget changes. This is the actual orientation of this object. And you can see that even though the arrow that we moved was the Z arrow, you can see that that's actually the Y arrow for this object, which is why it's Y changed. Same deal for this one. When we moved this guy, we actually rotated along the Z. And then from there, we moved it relative to its X. So don't allow the position of the arrows to confuse you all that much. We're going to go back to world selection. So hold down W, left click, and go to world. And that way we'll have a nice world pivot, and we'll work from there. All right. All the way to our left, you can see that we have a group. And inside that group, if you hit the little drop down, we've got our images. So let's go ahead and grab this group. I'm going to rename it ref. And we will clear the history on it. So edit, delete by type, history. Nice. Let's go ahead and name our images here. So I'll grab the front one, I'll name it front. I'll grab the side image, name it side. Okay. So go ahead and get your ref group, and we're going to put this into a layer. So come over to your channel box again and get layers. Come down to create layer from selected. Awesome. Go ahead and poke this little V icon. Make sure that blinks. If it doesn't blink, go ahead and try that process again. You can always select your object and then right click on the layer and then add selected object and then try and then see if it blinks for you. If it does blink and you're good, we can go ahead and click the third box here until it goes to R, which is reference. And now we will not accidentally move our references because we want these to be set up but not interactable while we model. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you save, so Control S to save, and in the next one we will start modeling our Link character. So stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, thank you for checking out the channel. If you like that video you just watched, consider hitting that like button and hit or subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, check out the Wielders of Ether. It's my upcoming comic book. The Kickstarter will be dropping pretty soon. You can see that is getting ready here. The newsletter for that, if you go to brucebooks.com, you can sign up for the newsletter, and you will be notified when the Kickstarter drops. We're pretty excited, and we hope to see you on launch day.